Hi guys, you're welcome once again to Beyond the Classroom. So this is Honorable Mujahid Official speaking, your usual host. I'm here with Apana Vitus. Akolegia. He is, when you come to partisan politics, the last time we had a 10 member who is NPP member, New Patriotic Party member here, who spoke a lot about partisan politics, especially in line. These people will never speak against their party, always in favor, always in favor. These people fear them. So we have the 10 member who is NDC member here, new National Democratic Congress member here to speak, and I know definitely I want him to speak against NDC, but I know definitely he will be speaking for NDC. So he's here with us to discuss politics in the Fourth Republic. Is it a dirty game? How is it? Corruption? How is it? Is it NDC or MPP? Whom should we blame? He's here with us. Today's conversation is going to be a very interesting one. I promise you of that, and I can assure you. So stick with us as we proceed with this conversation for the day. Let's go for a quick commercial break. When we return, we'll start the conversation with Apana Vitus Akolegia. That particular name, I have to find out the meaning. So let's go for a quick commercial break. You are welcome to Campbell Royal Tree, the best hotel in Winneba, close to Winneba Johnson and direct opposite the Guel Filling Station. Among some of the facilities Campbell Royal Tree offers its clients and customers include: number one, we have a serene swimming pool where you can relax your body at any time, swim at any time, any day at affordable prices. In fact, you can come here 24/7. We operate all time. We there for you. Campbell Royal Treat is having an event center where we host every type of event, any event you want, whether birthday party, weddings, any event at all. We can give you the best facility to host your event that you want to host. Campbell Royal Treat is having a gym center where you can gym your body at any time, morning, evening, afternoon, any time at all you feel. And we also have a kitchen where we offer both local and foreign dishes. Any type of food you want, just come to Campbell Royal Treat and we will give it to you at very affordable prices. We also have a clinic attached to the hotel where, in case of any emergency or any other time, you can go there for the services at very, very subsidized prices. We've reduced the prices drastically just to favor our customers. Call the contact, the numbers on this list. Alright, you are welcome back to Beyond the Classroom Show once again. We are here to discuss politics in the Fourth Republic with a 10 member, that's NDC member, right?
10 communication.
10 communication. Okay, his position is a communication officer.
10 UAW.
Right, 10 UAW communication officer. Yes, he's here with us. When it comes to campus politics or partisan politics, especially the part of NDC or 10 UAW, you cannot leave this gentleman out because of his vibrant, representation and that of his in-depth knowledge in NDC politics, politics in the Fourth Republic. NDC NPP is always the show because no other political party has ever held power in the Fourth Republic before. So, Vitus, you are welcome.
Thank you.
Yes, this is Beyond the Classroom Show. This is your first time. What we do here is just learning. We learn from each other. This is a partisan politics show, partisan politics interview. So for today's own, it's very special because of the nature of it. So I'll urge you, speak to facts. If you don't have proofs to back your claims, do not. Then tell us everything that we need to know. Okay, this is a learning platform. You are our teacher and we'll be asking you questions because we want to know more. We welcome you warmly and we appreciate your presence too for coming. So let's start with your topic, which is politics in the Fourth Republic. But before we do that, let's get to know you. If we say your name, I'm even finding it difficult to pronounce all your three names. So can you tell us who you are, your name, and
first of all, let me say good afternoon to our cherished viewers.
Good.
And to your production team for having me this afternoon.
Okay.
To have this important discussion.
Okay.
My name is Apana Vitus.
Okay.
And Apana means somebody who is strong.
Okay.
Vitus means gift of life.
Okay.
Akolege means to accompany somebody.
Okay, to accompany somebody.
In actual sense, I came into this world to accompany people.
Okay.
That's the meaning of Akolege.
Okay.
I come from the Upper East region.
Upper East region.
Precisely Bolga East constituency.
Okay.
In a village called Zuarengu.
Okay. What?
Zuarengu. Zuarendaburi.
Okay.
That is where I come from.
Okay.
I started my basic school at Adakra KG.
Okay.
The year 1998.
Okay.
Proceeded to Adakra Primary School between 2001 to 2006.
Okay, 2001 to 2006. Okay.
I went to Adakra Junior High School between 2007 2009.
Okay.
Finally proceeded to Zamsi Senior High School between 2009 2013. Were the last batch to go for the 4-year
system. At Tamils.
Good.
Okay, from
under
Kufuor who implemented that policy.
Yes. First policy.
Okay.
Then from Zamsi Senior High School, I had admission to study.
And where is this the Zamsi located?
It's in Bolga Township.
It's in
at the estate.
Okay.
Yes.
Good.
Then in 2014, I had admission to St. John Bosco's College of Education.
Where?
St. John Bosco's College of Education.
St. John Bosco?
Yeah.
Where is it?
It's at Navrungo, in the Upper East.
Navrungo. Okay, all your education.
Yes.
Up to college is in the eastern Upper East.
Exactly.
Okay. Let's proceed.
And so, some of the portfolios that I held during my days in academia and politics include, while in the primary school, I was assistant boys prefect.
Okay.
In the junior high school, I was the senior boys prefect.
Okay.
Then in college, I was the PRO for student representative, that's the SRC. And parish board secretary for the Catholic Church, Catholic community in St. John Bosco's.
Okay.
And then currently, I'm a student of
University of
Education, Winneba. In my political space, I am the current branch youth organizer of the Atoro BC electoral area. Ward secretary for the Atoro BC Agana BC ward. I'm a member of my regional communication team. That is the Upper East Regional Communication Team.
Regional Communication Team. You are a member there for NDC. Okay.
Yes. And then I also held the position of a communication officer for a movement called Bring Mama Back. I am the former
Bring Mama Back.
I'm the former national communication officer.
Okay.
But current research officer of that particular movement.
Wow.
And as you know, I'm the current TNUW communications officer.
Wow.
I'm a teacher by profession.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you are a trained teacher.
Yes.
And you came as those who come for the study leave, teachers on campus.
Exactly.
Good. Wow. Hey. He's a big man, you know. That's a simple word I can use. When you follow the trajectory, the things he has been through, the positions he has held before, when did this partisan politics thing start? What informed your decision to go? What exactly started it?
I think growing up as a kid, I saw the likes of the founder of the National Democratic Congress, His Excellency late President Jerry John Rawlings.
Okay.
His demeanor, you know, how he was able to blend with, the ordinary people on the streets, inspired me. That vision, not to live in isolation as a leader, really gave me a lot of motivation. And so, growing up, I remember, in senior high school, politics is not allowed. But because I had gotten the opportunity to serve my capacity as boys prefect, assistant boys prefect, I had gotten enough confidence to be able to engage in the student politics. Okay. Now, blending that with the politics that we know, as in the partisan politics.
Yes.
Rawlings really influenced me. The fact that he was a disciplinarian, he doesn't sit back and direct, but you see him involved in the process, and he was always up to task in terms of holding you to doing the right things.
Wow.
And that actually inspired me to go into politics. So in 2012, in 2008, I think by then the year the election was done, I was not qualified to vote. So I did not vote in the 2008 elections that saw the victory of the late President Ivan Satamels. But in the 2012 elections,
yes,
by then I was in secondary school. And no, politics is not allowed in the secondary school.
Yes.
But we as students mobilized ourselves, and the student front saw me as a very competent person that would lead them. And anytime we invited an MP, they asked me to facilitate the program. And I did that to the best of my ability. And then, you know, it gave me a lot of exposure. You know, I really learned a lot from those encounters. And so from there, you know, growing up, the love for Rawlings was there. Now going into politics, you know, so we got to college and the enthusiasm increased. The love and passion for the party increased. But
so at the college level, where partisan politics allowed?
Yeah, partisan politics.
Unlike the SHS.
Unlike the senior high school,
okay.
It is a no-go area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. So there we have this thing.
Yeah, we have.
Okay, it's part of tertiary.
Tain is the youth wing.
Yes.
Tain falls under the youth wing of the party in the various tertiary institutions across the country. Yeah, so
wow.
Colleges are not exception.
Yes, even the T stands for tertiary. Yes. And colleges are all part
tertiary
of the tertiary
education institutions network. That is what they stand
wow.
for.
Wow. And that of TESCOM. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you decided to join the NDC because of the inspirations you had from former President Jerry John Rawlings, who is no more. So what are some of the things that attracted you, apart from the personality of the founder and the first leader of the party, or the first person to lead the party to victory? Apart from that, what are some of the things that you can also identify?
You know, we live by our experiences. And I recall when I was in junior high school, I used to travel to Kumasi to stay with my sister.
Junior high school?
Yes.
During vacations, right?
During vacations.
Okay.
When I even completed.
Okay.
You know, and sometimes when you go there and you present yourself as somebody from the north, you were always associated to the NDC. Regardless of them even knowing your political associations. They just draw a conclusion. And so I realized that between the NDC and the MPP, the NDC was a party that that doesn't discriminate in terms of its ability to reaching out to people in an attempt of mobilizing people for their side. So one, I feel a party that was very safe. I feel welcomed in that particular party. A party that embraced me, you know. They did not bother to even find out where I was coming from. And then two, when you study the ideologies of the two political parties, one is a socialist, the other one is a capitalist. And the socialists, as the Marxist theories will say, they believe in the welfare of the people. You know, the capitalists hold a different opinion. They believe in the selected few, justice for the selected few people owning the state resources, while the working class being the lower earners. And if you see that, there's going to be an unending, you know, relationship.
Yes.
Between the higher class, who they call the bourgeoisie, and then the proletariat.
Yes.
And so there was a need for you to now look at the ideologies. Where do you think, who you are, your upbringing, how you have understood the world, which political party will you associate
will help
then,
you? Of
course, you find wisdom in following the National Democratic Congress.
Wow.
And you see the leaders usually at, you know, very easy to approach. You can, but Rawlings wasn't somebody that you see military hanging around him, said that when there was a need for him to be involved in doing work, he wouldn't. You see him working with the people. And I don't know what he meant by if the people will not vote for him, the trees and the stones will vote for him. But I think the understanding I get from it is that because he's always in touch with the masses, you know, he'll go and tell them the truth and the people will buy into it. And that is one thing that is missing within our political space for some time now. Wow. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so let's go back to started this way. When we say politics, NDC, NPP, GUM, and what have you, politics, what is this politics about?
You see, sometimes we can choose to go the propound theories about what politics is. But I will always want us to look at it within our scope.
Yes.
Because what the the theorists who proposed those definitions
is their own
saw
understanding
within their environment.
Yes.
Is totally different from us. So I
Yes.
think, in my opinion, politics is only basically talking about a group of people who have a common idea and objectives, you know, to serve a nation, you know. And so this group of people come together, support one leader. Then when that person, gets the opportunity as a leader, then he ensures that the ideologies or the objectives that they set together as a people, and the fact that they have chosen this particular person to lead them, really live up to task that will reflect in the best interest of the masses. So a political party is just a group of people with common ideas who come together to seek for the welfare of the people, putting into mind how they are going to manage the state resources to ensure the benefit of the people.
Okay, so you think, do you see NDC to be doing exactly what your definition of politics is depicting?
Yes, I think NDC has always
it's always on task, up to task. Okay.
You know, I sometimes become worried because the younger generation might be deceived.
Yeah.
I remember one prophet, Bright Odru, in one of his sermons, he preached and said we were ill-informed about the intentions of Rawlings to, plot military to take over this particular country. We were ill-informed. People were ill-informed. But today, there is a clear case of the difference between the MPP and the NDC. And when it comes to a political party that has the people at heart, of course, you can always place the NDC ahead of the MP.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so let's look at. Are you not saying this because of the current crisis Ghana is facing? You people.
Well, you can look at the terrain.
Yeah.
The records are there.
Okay.
When you look at the political party that is on record to have built tertiary institutions across this country.
This bill built in there, I don't always want to hear.
Oh, you see, you cannot talk about yourself without your history.
Yeah.
And so if you want us to talk about the current economic hardships, we can talk about it. Or the current governance, we can talk about it. If you want us to go back to history, you can
records that we left.
The level at which we have been consistent in our flow, that inure the benefit of the people, it's totally different from theirs.
Okay.
And so sometimes it is not something that it needs we the partisan politicians to come and sit here and talk about, but then it is there on record.
Yeah, you can go and attest to it.
Sure.
Okay, so let's try to learn something here. Can we get a brief history of your political party that you chose?
Yes, NDC has its founder, late His Excellency Jerry John Rawlings, who of course we all know came from the military side of governance. I think at the time when there was massive corruption in the system, the young junior Jesus, as he was affectionately called, saw wisdom in it, to rescue the country. And if you study the history, he was somebody who had no intentions to take over realm of affairs. That's why when he staged the June 4th uprising, thought it otherwise, there was a need to bring back the civilian rule, handed over to Liman at the time. But he realized that the Liman's administration was also corrupt.
Government under probation.
Exactly. So he decided to, plot another coup again. That was the 31st revolution.
Liman.
And so when you talk of the NDC, there are two major things that you have to put into consideration. One, the June 4th uprising, the 31st December revolution. And so when you look at the June 4th uprising, they contained the military force. The 31st revolution had both military and civilians. Now, what called for this particular military takeover was an idea they called the Holy War.
The Holy War.
Yes. And the war intended to bring justice to the people, create equality and fairness, bring social justice to the people.
Wow.
And when this was done, there was now a debate as to whether these two groups that were from the June 4th and that of the 31st Revolution, which had a mixture of civilians and military, whether there was a need to merge together or not.
Were there two different groups?
We had the June 4th uprising.
Yes.
Okay, they took over and handed over to civilian. That was Liman.
Yes.
Then there was another one again.
Different group.
That one had a mixture of the civilians. Don't forget, the June 4th was only military.
Only military.
Yes.
Okay.
But the 31st Revolution had both military and civilians.
Okay.
I think as we speak, I'm sure you can testify that
it
is not only the military that is feeling the heat. You and I are feeling it.
Exactly.
And so it led to the formation of what we call the People National Democratic Congress. Now, there were so many deliberations about the name, the specific name that they should give to the party. So a lot of deliberation was done.
But by then, the formation of the party, when did it start? Did it start from where the military regime, or when they were around 1992 thereabout?
The formation of the party. That is why I'm coming back to history.
Okay.
So the two, that was the Armed Forces Revolution.
Yeah.
And then together with the 31st movement, came together, formed the People National Democratic Congress.
Okay.
Then among them, they deliberated and saw wisdom to drop the P and make it National Democratic Congress. National because it belongs to everybody.
Okay.
Democratic because they believe in social justice. Congress because they believe that a group of people came together to form that particular party. And so that gave birth to the National Democratic Congress.
Wow.
Now, on 10th June, the NDC as a party had its
10th, like which year?
That was in 1992.
1992.
Yes, the NDC was given the green light, permitted by the Electoral Commission to operate as a political party, certified by all the regulations that were there for the Constitution. And so, when between 1981, there was a need to bring the party back to constitutional rule, to a civilian rule. And so that gave birth to the Fourth Republic. And yes, we went for a contest. The party was led by the founder, His Excellency Jerry John Rawlings. He won convincingly in the 1992 elections.
Wow.
And per the Constitution, but as you know, when it came to the drafting of the 1992 Constitution, there were the capitalists who believed that they must deal with the elites. The socialists believed that everyone matters. So the competence of what of you were brought together to draft the 1992 Constitution. And so if power resides in the people and they drafted the 1992 Constitution, they saw wisdom in Rawlings and the agenda that he had and entrusted power to him. And so he won the 1992 elections. And per the Constitution, you have only 4 years to run for another election. So in 1996, he won again till 2001, when his vice president, late Professor Mills, took over as the leader of the party. And
flag bearer.
Yes, and contested against former President Kufuor, and we lost power in 2000 elections. Then 2006 again, Kufuor defeated the NDC, and then in the 2008 elections, the MP had finished their 8 years, and Mills came back very stronger, and then we were able to defeat the MPP.
Wow.
In the 2008 elections.
Wow.
So Mills ruled till the sudden demise of the man many still remember, even though he had not served so much.
Wow.
He has a lot to his portfolio that the generation that is not yet born can come and learn a lot and tap wisdom from.
Wow.
And so in 2012, when he departed, President Mahama, who was the vice president at the time, was sworn into office immediately to take over. And we're almost in the election year. He represented the party in the 2012 elections and he won convincingly.
Wow.
Things didn't go on well for us in the 2016 elections.
Okay.
Because people engage in all sorts of lies and all that. And so that is basically what I can talk
about. Do you think in the 2016 elections you failed yourself, like you didn't do much as maybe what is expected to be done to win the elections? Do you think you should have yourselves to blame in some way?
When you say much, By March, are you talking about in terms of what
campaign.
we were able to? Okay, campaign.
Not,
Yeah,
not
I think
performance.
we had issues that has to do with communication, and our opponent capitalized so much on that. I remember at the time I was in the college. I mean, the 2016 year I was in the college, and you know there was a good motive behind why the teacher allowance was substituted for student loan trust fund.
Okay.
And
it wasn't just cancelled.
No,
it was a substitution.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you know, at the time, I remember I was in the college. People were complaining. They were bitter. You know, our colleagues were bitter that why were they at the college at the time that they took. I mean, they substituted the students' loan. Some even say cancelled. Like it was well iterated by the MPP. You know, and I remember on 2 occasions I met 2 of my colleagues, and I told them, yes, what you may say that what they have done is not proper, but I want to ask you this question. I'm sure you might have gone to nursing training. At the time, they were giving allowance.
Yes.
And because you did not have an uncle or big man somewhere, you did not get protocols there. You say yes. Now, that called for the need for the allowance to be taken off in order to replace the students' loan trust fund, so that you have people who have the passion to teach. But if your difficulty is paying school fees, come and pick the students' loan. When you finish and you're working, automatically you're going to be posted. When you are done and you're working, they will replace. I mean, you start paying the loan bit by bit. As compared to limiting the number, let's say St. John Bosco schools, they're supposed to pick like 50. Meanwhile, they were in excess of trainees who wanted to become teachers. But because of the element of allowance, they will have to limit the number in order for government to be able to pay them. And so the wisdom that was thought around these things was to take off the element of the allowance and give more room for trainees to apply and get admission. And most of them testified that yes, it was true. They went to nursing training college because they were issuing allowances they did not get, and they started to college who they didn't need to follow any protocol. I can tell you that at the end of the day, those 2 gentlemen I spoke to became 10 executives when we were in the college, because they later understood. 2, the idea of Mama substituting the teacher allowance to student loan trust fund. Government at the time was still in charge of paying trainees feeding fees. But this was not well communicated to the masses. So it appeared as though he cancelled everything. But we were taking money for our feeding from government. So I think if all these things were properly communicated to the masses, perhaps this whole, idea of our defeat wouldn't have been so very easy.
We can we can blame it on communication.
That is one.
In a way. Yes.
Things were not properly communicated to the masses. The truth was not told to them.
Yes.
Another thing was that the MPP were able to, sit down and cook lies to paint Mahama black. You can think about corruption. He has built houses in Dubai. There was a vehicle that was given to him. There was issues of Wyoming, and they promised having an DKM.
You guys, NDC, NPP, why do you cook these lies? Propaganda? Why? Why? I don't understand. Why?
I don't know if you have any evidence of NDC coming out with lies. That is what our party don't know. If you have any evidence of NDC ever telling lies on anything, put it out to me and I'll answer you in public.
Wow. You are not guilty of any lies.
I'm putting up to you as a media man. You have been doing your research. I'm asking you if there's anything that is on record.
It's an assignment. I'll work on it.
Okay, so
I'll make sure.
You can invite me anytime.
I don't understand these people. Okay, so let's see. I know this question you will not give me an answer, but is there any weak point of NDC that we can point out? Like this is a weak point of NDC, maybe, something that is not the way we expect.
Yes, when you talk about weak points of NDC, as a human being, everything will always have its weakness and its strength. And so if you ask me at the moment, if there any weak points, previously, I think we were not too aggressive.
Okay.
In the last 2 elections. We were born out of revolution. We should be fearless. And I like the enthusiasm at which we are coming this time around. It appears we were so much intellectual in our dealings, and the MPP do understand intellectuals. What they understand is the rascal approach.
Okay.
And I think we were so soft in the previous elections, and they capitalized on that and they took advantage of us. But this time around, as we saw in Asinot by-election, we were fearless, ready for anything, and of course, if we maintain this spirit going into 2024, it is going to be an easy win. This time around, and sometimes I say it, as a revolutionarist, as a member of the NDC, I always think it is better to share my blood trying to protect the will of the people than to go and die of an accident. That would be a useless death.
Wow.
You should die in the line of, fighting for the best interest of your people. And so, in the 2024 elections that is coming,
yes,
well, the signals in Asinot were clear, and we are not going
massive win.
We were ready for anything, and this time around, it is not about NDC, it is about Ghana. And so I'm sure, as you saw in the 31st revolution, there was a mixture of military and civilians.
Yes.
But as we speak, we don't want to go back there because those are dark days that we don't even want to revisit. But there were some of the things that gave birth to those errors, which we don't want to revisit. But then, as I'm saying, it is not about the NDC. It is about Ghana.
Okay.
You inclusive.
Okay. Good. Talking about fearless, talking about being not being radical, being coming from the revolution and those things. So there was this video which was very public and trending, which catch the eyes, the attention of public, about a young NDC member who came out and in his public speech he made a statement that you can go to any extent of doing anything for us to win power. I don't know whether it was 2020 or 2022, one of these years. He talked a lot, talking about NPP, accusing NPP of killing before they come into power, so NDC youth should also be ready to kill. Have you come in contact with that video?
Yes, I think sometimes the question has to do with whether, as you rightly indicated, the NPP engage in killing. Are they facts? Yes. Were they attacks?
Yes.
Yes. Is there previous statements of such that the young man was learning from? Yes. You can talk about all die we die. You can talk about if you get an awana in whatever.
Who exactly made this statement? All die we die.
He's no other person than the current president of the republic.
Nana Addo.
Yes.
Which
all die we die.
time?
That was in the 2008 elections.
2008 elections.
Yes.
All die we die.
All died we die. We
Hey,
have leading members of the NPP declare, war in this country. I declare war.
Declared war.
Yeah, I declare war in this country.
Hey.
And I'm not sure something was done to them.
Oh.
And so there will always be something to learn from. I'm sure right from your home, you have some kind of decency that you learn from. And so if the elders fail to behave like an elder, if you have people in the past who were on records to have said all die be die, who is dying? It was an election. You have comments like, if NPP loses the election in Afghanistan, at the time we knew what was happening in Afghanistan. The political turmoil in Afghanistan wasn't something that one would want to envisage. Yet you hear politicians make pronouncements about these things.
Declaring all
and so,
sorts of things.
What the young man said, as you can sometimes see, it is about people who are entrusted with state power abusing innocent Ghanaians. I'm not sure the kind of treatment the media out to the young man was done to Ronaldo when he said all die we die, when others were calling for declaring wars in this country. And so the younger ones will always have something to learn from them. The so-called lawyer, human rights activist, who at the time believed in freedom of speech, today has become a suppressor. Such that one can no longer utter any word that he wants. And so sometimes within the political atmosphere, people come out with speeches. But when the speeches are coming out, we are learning from the elders. And the typical example is President Nana Addo. A typical example is the sitting MP, a leading member of the NPP, who is today contesting and hoping to become their party's flag bearer. You didn't hear the Honorable Kennedy Japan declare war in this country before?
Declare war?
I declare war. I declare war in this country. You have not heard those videos?
No. Hey.
Then you so serious.
NDC NPP in Ghana. So the young man's pronouncements, or like his statement that he made, you have explained everything here so beautiful, and we've got to understand what happened previously before he stood on that to make the statement that he made. But then at the instance where he made a statement, he didn't add up all these explanations. So Ghanaians out there, especially the layman, some of us can read and write, and we can go to do research to see whether it's true or not, whether it's he's having a backing or not. But others are there, they just take it as it is. So don't you think it can go to some extent to defame the party at large? You know, some of these statements.
You see, our party gave birth to the 1992 constitution that we are enjoying today, which specifies one's freedom to speak.
Yes.
And so, yes, we are guided by the Constitution of the Republic of this country. As politicians, we all have a duty to be mindful about our choice of words. That is a matter that the legal entities will be telling us. But who measures what one says? Particularly when there are clear precedents of people towing the same line and nothing was done about it. You understand? So I support the objective minded opinions that sometimes we need to be selective in our diction, so that we don't cause
confusing
political
in the minds
tension
of people,
in this country.
Yes.
But then I think a typical example of how, when it comes to administering justice about people who offend the law, how the selective justice is the invisible forces attacking the Asante Regional Security Coordinator. When they were sent to court, they did a follow-up, beat and freed their colleagues. And when they were summoned again, they were found, I think, 1,000 Ghana cedis. And what it meant is that if you have 1,000 Ghana cedis, you can go and slap a judge and go away. And so if you have a political leader or leadership who supports, some of these things, then do you expect the political opponent to keep quiet? If you have invisible forces who have the effrontery to walk into the law court, to beat and free their colleagues, then you expect me. And I always say this: where there's injustice, silence is a crime. We believe in rule of law, but what we will never do in our lives as a party, as NDC, is to sit down and allow anybody who doesn't have the rule of law think that he can always make his way, and we will sit down and allow. That one I can assure you.
Wow.
If we are going to obey the rule of law, there must be equity, there must be equality. The law must deal with us without any iota of bias, without any iota of party colors, so that we can be on fair grounds. But it must not be that when an NDC says something, an action is immediately taken. When the MPP says something, it is swept under the carpet. In which democracy will you see this happening? And we expect you, the media, to talk about these things.
NDC NPP matters in Ghana, the Fourth Republic, hot cake. Okay, so going into the 2024 general elections, what should Ghanaians briefly expect from the new the National Democratic Congress?
If you ask me, the phrase I use is hope.
Yeah. Hope.
Hope to reduce the ministerial burden on the innocent Ghanaians, the 110 ministers and their deputies, who today, some of them have no definite responsibility that they are running, yet they are enjoying state resources. They take salary every day. And you know, where you have so many people, you can always tell how the chaos will be, because there will be massive corruption, there will be inability of leadership to do checks and balance. Ghanaians should expect a hope of a leader who is not coming to clear his ministers and appointees for any wrongdoing. They should expect hope of a leader who is coming to bring sanity to the system. They should expect hope of a leader who is coming to ensure that pensioners who spend several years serving this country will not have their resources locked up for no offense of theirs. Or because your father is the head teacher of a village school, you think he must become the senior boys prefect. Is that not the more reason why the finance minister is still at post? Don't you think he has done more harm than good to this country? And for that matter, he should have been shown the door. And you can always tell the level of inconsistency the president has engaged in. When his own MP decided to mount pressure against him to withdraw, to have his finance minister sacked, he promised them to have him negotiate the IMF program, after which he will do something about it up to date. Have you heard the president go by his words?
Maybe they are still on the IMF program.
IMF first deal is done. That was the timeline they gave to them. So in the 2020 elections, what we can tell Ghanaians is that they should expect a government that is bringing back confidence within the political space, one that will come and ensure that every corrupt official of this particular regime is put behind bars. And sometimes it's a worry. Worry in the sense that when you look at our sub-region as a continent, there are military coups all over. And I heard one military man, speak about Niger, who currently took over, and they had their finance minister to account the state of, finances.
Yes.
And he was weeping like a baby.
Weeping?
Yeah, he was weeping like a baby.
Why was he weeping?
He was unable to account, and they said if he's not able to account, he was going through the firing squad. And I heard this military officer, I think from either Zambia, speak and mention the president of the republic, say that if they don't tighten their waist, what is happening in the other countries may happen in this country. But it is something that I pray against. I don't want coup anymore, because the several instances that we have experienced coup in this country, the country has gone back.
We've lost a lot.
And so it is not something that is an option.
Yes.
But then, what do we have to do as a country? We must ensure that when political leadership is given to us, we serve in the best interest of the state. So for NDC, as we go into 2024, we have intentions, one, to prosecute corrupt officials, because you cannot come and be sharing, instead of one constituency, $1 million, it is one city at Apana, one constituency.
Let's move.
So they should expect that all corrupt officials will put behind bars to serve as a lesson to any future government that will be serving, or anybody that will be appointed into office. They should expect the NDC to come into office and take the element of teacher licensure exams, which is burdening teachers every day. You are at the university, you stay 4 years, you are able to pass your exams, get first class. I had a friend who called me and said he had a colleague from UCC who had first class, and he wrote this teacher licensure exams and he failed.
How?
That is the question. You understand? And so we will restore hope. We will not engage in sharing $1 million. We will not engage in protecting people to deplete our forests. We will not have party boys to go into the bushes in the name of political associations and help pollute our water bodies. They should expect a leadership that is coming to ensure that hope is brought back to the country once again through programs that will reflect the lives of the youth, the lives of the ordinary Ghanaian on the streets. And today, when you ask the ordinary Ghanaian about the state of the economy, what the NPP is interested, led by Baumia, is the figures. But as they always say, the reality will always expose you. You know, you and I know how much we used to pay when we were going from here to UW. But what is the cost today? And so Ghanaians should expect hope.
Okay.
They should expect a government that is not coming to burden them with ministers.
Wow.
A man that is proactive with vision, as he has done. He already knows the way. He has done it before. He has track records of delivering better.
Wow.
Except that people came in with, you know, trying to give him a bad name, who God in his own way